waste. What is the solid waste? In the presentation, what are the solid waste? Hmm? Solid waste. Any of a wide variety of solid materials that are discarded or rejected as useless, unwanted, or in excess from human and animal activities. Categories of municipal solid waste and industrial solid waste and hazardous waste. What are the municipal waste? Municipal waste include waste from residential, commercial, open areas such as parks, streets, playground, etc. And treatment plant waste. These include waste such as garbage, rubbish, ash. Demolition and construction waste is special waste. Treatment plant waste principally composed of residual sludge, waste. Glasses 1%, rags 4%, inerts 25%, plastic 9%, metals 1%, and biodegradable 48%. Industrial waste. Industrial waste are those waste arising from industrial activities and demolition and construction. Waste and hazardous waste. Industrial waste. Now we can see the industrial waste. Hazard waste. Waste that pose substantial danger immediately or over plants or animal life are classified as hazard waste. A waste is classified as hazard waste if it exhibits any of the following characteristics: ignitability, corrosivity, reactivity, toxicity. In the past, hazard waste were often grouped into the following categories: radioactive waste, chemicals, biological waste, flammable waste, explosive. The chemical category include waste that are corrosive, reactivity, or toxic. The principal source of hazard biological waste are hospital and biological facilities. Flammable liquid, dangerous, oxidizer, corrosive, radioactive. Characteristic of solid waste. Population range in million 1.1 0.1 to 0.25. Number of cities surveyed, you can see the graph. Metals, glass, rubber, leather, and synthetics. According to US CPA regulation, solid waste is any garbage or refuse, municipal solid waste, sludge from wastewater treatment plant, water supply treatment plant, or air pollution control facility, other discard material, solid, liquid, semi-solid, or contained gaseous material from industrial, commercial, mining, and agricultural operation and from community activities. Municipal solid waste MSW municipal solid waste, a waste type that includes predominantly household waste, domestic waste, with sometimes the addition of commercial waste collected by municipality in a given area. The total of all materials from homes or commercial establishment thrown away and collected by local governments. They are in either solid or semi-soil from and generally exclude industrial hazard waste. MSW comprises two types of materials: refuse and trash. Refuse, garbage and rubbish. Garbage, highly decomposable food waste, example vegetables, meat scraps. Rubbish, non slowly decomposable waste, example glass, rubber, metal, cans, paper, textiles, woods. Trash, bulk waste materials that generally require special handling and therefore not collected on routine basics. Example: an old television, coat, mattress, refrigerator, etc. Residence, homes, commercial place, institution, construction and demolition, municipal services, treatment plants, site, industries, agriculture activities. The source of solid waste and municipal solid waste are there. Let's talk about the physical characteristics. Density. The knowledge of density is important for the design of all elements of the solid waste. Management system like storage, transport, and disposal, for example, for known volume of the solid weight, its density gives truck in tonnage. The density varies significantly from source to the disposal site because of handling change in moisture content. Disinfection due to vibration and movement, distribution by animals and birds, etc. Now let's talk about the moisture content of the solid weight is expressed as the weight of moisture per unit weight of wet material. Moisture content varies generally from 2 and 20% to 45% depending upon the climate condition and level of city. The increase of moisture content increase the weight and thus the cost of transportation, and thus the storage section should take the care of it. Now we are talking about the chemical characteristics. Calorific value. Calorific value is the amount of heat generated from combustion of a unit weight of a substance, expressed as kilocalorie per kilogram. The calorific value is determined in the laboratory by bomb calorimeter. Now we are talking about solid waste. About this is the engineering lecture. You can see the, if you want only, engineering lecture only. There are 5 broad categories of municipal solid waste: biodegradable, biogradable waste, food and kitchen waste, green waste, paper, etc. Recyclable material: paper, glass, plastic bottles, cans, metal, certain plastic. Insert waste: construction and demolition waste, dirt, rocks, debris. Composite waste: clothing waste, plastic and such as toys. Domestic hazard waste: school household hazard waste. Toxic waste: e-waste, chemicals, light bulbs, fluorescent tubes, spray can, pesticide, batteries, shoe polish, etc. A change in lifestyle, increased use of executive escort. Health impact of solid waste. Now we are talking about the health impacts of solid waste. The hazard waste can affect human health, children being more vulnerable to these pollutants. Direct handling of solid waste result in chronic diseases, with the waste workers and the waste pickers collectors being the most vulnerable. Improperly managed illegal soil waste dumping sites and poorly landfills attract all types of insects and rodents that spread diseases. Improperly operated waste incineration plants cause air pollution and health hazard. Isn't this important? Polythene bags, solid waste. Now you the picture, steel, aluminum. There are uh, there are categories from the recycle bin. Okay. Solid waste management is the defined as the discipline associated with the control, generation, storage, collection, transfer, and transport, processing and disposal of solid waste in a manner that is accordance with the best principle of public health, economics, engineering, conservation, aesthetic, and other environmental consideration, and that is also response to public attitudes. Waste minimize. We should the waste minimization. Prevention of waste being created is known as waste reduction. Important method of waste management. The modern concept based on the three are reduce, reuse, and recycle. Methods of evidence includes reuse of second-hand products, designing products to be refillable or reusable, and repairing broken items instead of buying new items, etc. Hierarchy of waste minimization: least favored option and most favorite option. Prevention, it is in the upper. Minimization, reuse, recycling, and energy recovery disposal. Hierarchy of waste minimization: prevention, minimization, reuse, and recycle, energy recovery and disposal. Most favorite option is going to disposal, energy recovery, recycling, reuse, minimization, and prevention. Right? Major stuff integrated SWM, soil waste management, generation, household sorting, storage, collection and transport, sorting, reduction, reuse and recycle, final disposal. Okay, you can see this and read generation. Okay, let's go to next slide. Current situation, waste generation. This is the Sri Lankan solid waste management. We are talking about the Colombo Municipal Council quantity in kilogram 0.8. Other municipal council councils are 0.75. Urban councils and provincials, they are low average, low quantity 0.6 and 0.4. These are averaged by around 6,400 tons per day. This is the report at UNEP 2001. Right. Actually, average per capita solid waste generation rates. India 0.3 kilogram per person per day. Sri Lanka 0.4, Malaysia 0.7, Sweden 0.8, Singapore 0.85, UK 1 point, Canada 1.64, USA 2.25. This is the boring and not boring subject. Engineering subject is very important. Solid waste management, engineering environment subject. Okay, now we are talking the identification of waste and minimization at the source. A waste processing is the best strategy for this. First of all, the process should be such that the least production of waste. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Complete municipal council biogas composition, waste collection in urban councils. Household sortings and non-glass is beans, vegetables and non perishable such as glass, paper, plastic. Collective support imperatives for successful implementation. Color, color code for solid waste segregation. Color code. There are color code in the municipal council. Then it can be uh, what to change the and collect the solid waste, plastic, papers, hmm, orange plastics, blue papers, brown metal and coconut shells, red glasses red. Sometimes it can be collect the waste management, storage, temporary storage at houses, streets and other designated places. Cover them to control bad odor, animal and fly and other rodents nuisance. Transport, solid waste management. This is the other daily collection and transport, right? And it need good vehicular fleet and should cover the material while transporting. Uh, Without cover, it will be a damage to the peoples in the towns or cities. Collection, segregation, and storage at the site of collection. The solid waste management is the collection of solid waste. The household waste consists of all types of general waste. At present, there is no scientific, clean, hygienic, efficient practice of waste collection in most of the cities of India, including the metro cities. The industrial waste is also handled in the same way. The collection and storage of waste is the most neglected operation in any industry. Now we are talking the solid waste management. It's the engineering subject. Collection, segregation, and storage at the site of collection. Yellow bags, red bags, blue bags, and black cardboard. Segregation of waste. So it's colorful and more comfortable to the garbage. Huh? By cards, delivery option. By trucks, that's the town cities type. Transportation of soil waste. The waste is transported from the storage depots to the disposal site in tractor, trailer, oil designed over trucks. Though it has been instructed by the law that the transportation must be done in closed containers only. Any types hazard waste should be labeled and coded that the case of an accident, the emergency service know how to handle the spillage. Transport and solid waste. Sorting. Manual or machinery sorting. Sorting itself. This is doing that the garbage yard. Sorting with mechanical biological treatment. Mechanical biological treatment. The short form is MBT. Process household waste by mechanical, separating some parts of the waste and biological treating others. Mechanical treatment refers to sorting, size reduction, separation and sieving technologies, achieving separation of potentially useful products, and streams for biological treatments. Biological treatment refers to anaerobic and no aerobic or processes which convert the organic fraction into a composite like material and biogas. Prevention of waste generation, good housekeeping, input substitution, better process control, equipment modification, technology change, on-site recovery or reuse, production of a useful byproduct, product modification. Source reduction, waste prevention, reduce amount of waste to be managed, conserves resource. Source reduction in action, electronic communication lessons people out, durable goods means reusable, beginning composting. How to treatment to the solid waste? Treatment of solid waste. The waste has to be treated before disposal for the protection of environment. In any case, the soil waste should be reduced in quantity at the source, segregated, then carefully transported and economically treated before the final disposal. First, transport to the garbage and pre compositing, permanent tank, gas storage bags, heating. The most common method of energy recovery and disposal from non-hazard solid waste are the incineration, composition and landfill. The final disposal of waste should be done in such a way that it remains a waste in actual sense. Nothing can be recovered out of it and it could not be used anywhere. Energy recovery and disposal. Energy recovery. Receiving area, crane and lifting crane after the garbage going to the hot gases boiler, garbage removed to the boiler, and boiler with the boiler was heating, spray drying fabric gas, spray drying after come to the electric power from the turbine generator from the it's heated the boiler. When steaming the boiler and after when spray dry go to the spray dryer, air cool convention cooling tower, you can see the picture. Recycling as a solution, recycling to the primary recycling, original waste and material made back into the same product. Secondary recycling, recycling are two types, primary recycling and secondary recycling. Primary recycling, original waste material made back into the same product, newspapers to newsprint, right? Newspapers to cardboard, secondary recycling, waste made into a new product. The secondary recycling is the waste made into a new product. Primary recycling is original waste material made back into the same product. Newspapers to newsprint. Newspapers are sent to the newsprint again and newsprint. Okay. Secondary recycling, newspapers to product of a cardboard product. Right. That's the secondary. How does recycling help? How does recycling helps to the earth? The environment. Otherwise, environmental solution. 1 ton of paper saves 17 trees. 1 ton of paper saves 17 trees and 6,953 gallons of water, 400 63 gallons of oil and 4,000 kilowatt of energy. 1 ton of paper saves 17 trees and 6,953 gallons of water and 463 gallons of oil and 4,000 kilowatt of energy. Recycling paper decreases air pollution by similar to 74% and water pollution by similar to 35%. A 1 meter stack of newspaper is equal to the amount of pulp from one tree. Recyclable materials, paper and paperboard. Okay, most glasses, some forms of plastic, metals, textile, oil ties, asphalt. Oil ties are asphalt. Come to the oil ties. When heating after that, it will become to the asphalt. Reduction and reuse and recycle. Bottles, cans, or other similar to ones can be reused, save, purchase resources to a certain extent. Compositing and biogas generation are major technologies for recycling perishable components. Some rare metals could be recovered. Composition, reduction. Biogas reduction. Composition. Municipal in the Sri Lankan government was given this composition composite bins, plastic polythene waste collection and recycling. Central Environmental Authority in the Sri Lanka implements the National Post Consumer Plastic Waste Management Project, plastic waste collection, plastic recycling enhance public awareness. Product LLDP, LLDPE, LDPE, HDPE, double P, stretch film, all types of plastic bags and bottles post consumer, soft pipes post industrial waste, polythene and lumps, plastic buckets, agriculture packaging waste and pallet wraps, etc. Plastic recycling in Sri Lanka, this is the company collects sorting according to resin type segregation. This is the plastic crushing and agglomerating. Pelleting process. Plastic recycling in Sri Lanka. This is the pelleting process. Pelleting reclaim plastic is the final step in most recycling process. Converting post-consumer plastic into pellets allows for easier distribution and remanufacturing and utility benefits. The speed and effectiveness of reintroducing recycled plastic into industrial manufacturing. Final disposal. Proper final disposal technique is important. It's come to the final disposal. Okay. We talked recycling, reused, and no. After the final it will become to the final disposal. Proper final disposal technique is informed. Landfills and waste to energy projects are popular. Expensive, hence try to minimize the waste quantity to be finally disposed. Needs proper care to avoid possible adverse health impact. technologies for municipal soil control, land filling with landfill gas recovery and utilization. Control land filling without landfill gas recovery. Control land filling with soil cover. Uncontrolled land filling, open dumping, thermal process, aerobic degradation, anaerobic digestion, methane and gas production, digestion, digestion. That is aerobic digestion and anaerobic digestion. Digestion, it's not digestion. Landfills waste put on the ground and covered with soil. Traditional landfills keeps liquids out. Leachate generation, methane production, incomplete decomposition, settling. This is the traditional landfill, keeps liquid out. Methane production. Okay, this is the problem of landfill structures. These are the leachate generation. Uncontrolled landfills open dumping. It will come to the roadside illegal dumping of waste. The soil waste management. The elephants and cows are eating recycles components. Firing to the garbage. Methane production. Natural decomposition, buried waste are anaerobic broken down by the feeders, creating biogas. Disposal on or in the earth mentally is present the only viable method for long-term handling. Solid waste that are collected and are the no future further use. The residual material remaining after solid waste have been proceeded. Landfilling with solid waste. Landfilling involves the controlled disposal of solid waste stored in the upper layer of the earth's mantle. Landfilling methods and operation. The principle of methods used for landfill in dry area trench depression. You know about the trench method, area method. Depression landfills at location where the natural depression exit.